just about 500, around 38. He's on the way.
Okay.
He's trying to zoom in. at
That's
the
what I was
same
thinking
time.
right now.
Okay.
Are you live yet?
Okay, I have 6 o'clock, so we will get started. If you could stand for the flag salute. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. And if you would join me, instead of a moment of silence, I'd like to just say short prayers for the Martin family and remembering them and their loss. Father, we thank you tonight for allowing us to be here, and we ask that you guide us as we make decisions. We'd also ask that you be with the Martin family with the loss of their mother, Stacy. That you'd strengthen that family and give them peace and strength. And we ask that you would heal all those involved, and we ask this in Christ's name. Amen. Okay, Sandy, would you do the roll call?
Abby Anderson? Here. Carrie Armaglas? Here. Megan Dreher?
Here.
Brady Fight? Diane Taylor?
Here.
Jeff Powell?
Here.
Jermaine Stump?
Here.
Eric Sunlight? Kelly Chilligan?
Here. All right, do I have a motion to consider to approve to waive the reading and the approval of the minutes from the 11th workshop meeting and the 18th voting meeting?
I'll make that motion.
Second. Approved and seconded. Is there any discussion or any changes that you want made? If not, all those in favor? Aye. Opposed? Abstention? Motion carries. Okay, so I don't believe we have any public participation, and we have no presentation, so we'll move on to board concerns. Do I have any board concerns or hear any board concerns this evening? Okay, not hearing any, we'll move on to the consent agenda. Are there any items on the consent agenda you would like pulled to be voted on separately? Okay, not seeing any. Do I have a motion to approve the consent agenda?
Motion.
I second.
Okay, moved and seconded. Anything you want to discuss? All those in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Abstentions? Motion's carried. Okay, so Meg's not here, so Carrie, can I ask you to do finance and purchase?
Sure, I will pay through E for paying the bills of the motion that we given.
Moved and seconded. Any discussion? Okay, all those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? I think that's in favor. Abstentions? Motion carries.
Cafeteria report.
Good evening, everybody. I wanted to let you know the lunch numbers for the high school and elementary are looking steady here, so we could bring the breakfast up at the high school. When the state is here for my administrative review, there's some things I want to run by them, talk to them and find out exactly what I can and cannot do as far as reimbursement goes and getting that grab-and-go breakfast, without having to have someone stand and, be out in the hallway with a POS system to make sure that everybody's only getting one meal and, at what rate they are reimbursed for that meal. Last month, we served 11,126 total meals, and USDA had also come out and said that they were going to allow any district that had hit 25% or more as free reimbursement rate to apply for community eligible provision for any school district. Now, the caveat to that was, of course, they weren't going to raise the reimbursement rate for any of those districts. It would still be under the same percentages that they were using for us in April and at the beginning of the school year. So Dr. McDivitt had spoken to me and asked me to run some numbers based on what we had so far this school year. Now, our free and reduced rate is up between 48 and 50% depending on who enrolls and who withdraws on a day-to-day basis, which is higher than we were last year. Our hiccup is that a lot of our free and reduced are income-based and not directly certified through state benefits. The state benefit certifications are the only free certifications that count towards the CEP numbers. So I just passed around an updated CEP calculator sheet, and this is what they give us every year to go through, put in our numbers, and see what we would gain, lose, or remain steady at as far as reimbursement. So if you look on the sheet, if you go down and look at the difference, what would be in red in the bottom right corner is what we as a district would have, if everyone ate free, that is what the district would have to repay to the government for overpayment of free lunches. So everybody will come through as free, everybody reimbursed as free, but the district is responsible for reimbursing or sending the money back for any child that does not meet that free calculation. So it does show you there how many thousands of dollars per month we would lose at lunch. And of course, right now, because everyone eats free breakfast, it's a zero change. We don't have any paid breakfast students right now, so there isn't anything to base that comparison on as long as they remain free. We don't gain any, we don't lose any on the breakfast, but we can see what we would lose monthly at lunch, that the district would be responsible for paying back out of the general fund. I have finished the administrative review. I want to pull up the business section, all of the paperwork that was all due in, it closed on Friday the 13th, it was all due in with no more questions from them by the 12th. They are to be here for our on-site review sometime in December. They have not given me a date for which building that they will be at, but October is our test month. So they will be looking at all of our numbers, reimbursements, and that type of thing through the month of October. And next week will be our test week. They will take our numbers from that week in October, meal plans for October to make sure that they're meeting all the standards. And then they will run those numbers against what we are running in December to make sure that what we did in October and what we did in December is the same thing. So it's been a lot of work and it's a little nerve-wracking when I've not done it before, but I will be honest, I am ready for the midweek year. If anybody has any questions about the CEP, I can answer them now. If you want to reach out to me through email, I can go over that note with you there too as well.
Thanks, Stacy. Letter G, consideration to approve the intermediate unit 1, the ACTA agreement between the intermediate unit 1 and the Alameda Clarendon Valley School District ending June 30, 2024 in the amount of $23,235 dated September 28, 2023 as attached. So moved.
Second.
Moved and seconded. Any discussion? All those in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Abstentions? Motion carries.
Letter H, consideration to approve the proposed budget in the amount of $2,353,086 for WSTU as attached. So moved.
Moved and seconded. Any discussion?
This was approved through the Pennsylvania Department of Education. Andrew was notified Wednesday of last week. We've yet to receive the grant application through eGrants to submit it, but we do have email confirmation. You will see a number of personnel items later on in this agenda that we will be hiring personnel to place at the Western Secure Treatment Unit. This includes a variety of other items such as technology, legal fees, advertising, internal staff stipends. It's also covering our online learning program personnel. Am I missing anything? I think for the most part, that's it right there. So we don't have the entire thing spent right now because we don't have the entire personnel hired or projected, but yet we'll see. Tonight we do have four content teachers, a physical education teacher, and a principal on the agenda to hire. We do have another penciled in full-time paraprofessional, and also a special subject area teacher that we've yet to hire. We figure we'll see the needs of the program and what that other additional teacher needs to be.
What's the term of this? Well,
It's going to be yearly. So I,
it's July or?
yeah, I'm July 1st to June 30th.
So is there concern over this, I don't know, the savings is the word phrasing, but, those that aren't hired, the salary that's not being expended over those months, because I assume you'll just like, here's the full salary you need to work that year. Is that how it works?
We're still learning that, yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, probably, yeah, we're
There's
gonna spend it
possibly
out.
cost savings there, so if there's cost savings, what does that amount to? I mean, it'll be expended in the future most likely, but I think we should plan for a contingency plan for like those positions hired.
Yeah, I agree with you completely.
Because you
And
don't
I-
want
and
to
I-
give it back.
Yeah, and I think that goes back to the agreement with intermediate unit number 6, providing the special education services. We may need more. Right now, we have a penciled in 4 teachers. We may need additional support. So, yeah, to your point, I appreciate that.
Okay, all those in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Are you up an aye, Megan?
Yeah, aye.
Okay, for it?
Yes.
Okay. So opposed, abstentions, motion carries.
Do we have information for this bid to bid for those?
We do.
Okay.
Andrea, do you want to share that information now?
Yes, so that is, we received one bid from Brandywine Bus Sales LLC from Reading, Pennsylvania, for $68,000 for 2023 Ford Transit 350 10-passenger van.
Can you repeat it? Is that a 2023 Ford Transit
Yeah, 350 10-passenger.
from Berry
Brandywine Bus Sales LLC in Reading, Pennsylvania.
What was the amount?
68,000.
Okay,
All right, letter I, consideration to accept the bid of $68,000 from Brandywine Bus Sales for purchasing a 2023 Ford Transit 350 10-passenger van to be paid with ARP ESSER funds. So moved.
Second.
moved and seconded. Any discussion? Okay, all those in favor? Aye. Opposed? Okay, abstains? Motion carries. Okay, we're ready to move on to personnel. Janine, would you like to do, now listen. Would you like me to split it up?
No, that's okay. Can I lump some of them together or not? The teachers that are all at the same salaries?
Probably not, but you probably don't have to read all that. You could
Okay.
just say as listed.
Okay,
I don't think you need to read all of that information.
all right, well, we'll start with letter A.
Okay.
Consideration to retroactively approve the letter of retirement for Richard Preston, custodian, dated September 12th, 2023, effective January 5th, 2024, as attached. Richard has been an employee with the district since August 1999. So moved.
Second.
Moved and seconded. Any discussion? We want to thank him for all his years of service. All those in favor? Aye. Opposed?
Aye.
Opposed? Abstentions? Motion carries.
David, what are we doing for Richard's replacement? Are we replacing that?
Yeah, absolutely. I think we'd advertise in November and then we'd hire hopefully in December because he's retiring January 5th. We'll have a little bit of time to look through
Do we have part-timers that make it into that? Okay.
that. No heavy duties?
We have people that are probably gonna bid on it, yes.
Okay. Yeah, we have internal people.
Item B, consideration to retroactively approve the letter of resignation from Jamie Preston, junior high baseball coach dated October 11th, 2023, effective immediately as attached. So moved.
Second.
Moved and seconded. Any discussion? All those in favor? Aye. Opposed? Abstentions? Motion carries.
Item C, consideration to approve advertising for the vacated junior high baseball coach position. So moved.
Second.
Moved and seconded. Any discussion? All those in favor? Aye. Opposed? Abstentions? Motion carries.
Item D, consideration to approve the district secretary full-time 220-day job description as attached. So moved.
Second.
Moved and seconded. Any discussion? All those in favor? Opposed? Abstentions? Motion carries.
Item E, consideration to approve transferring Melissa Morrison to the full-time 220-day district-wide secretary position contingent on the opening of the Western Secure Treatment Unit facility. So moved.
Second.
Moved and seconded. Any discussion? All those in favor? Opposed? Abstentions? Motion carries.
Item F, consideration to approve the principal Western Secure Treatment Unit job description as attached. So moved.
Moved and seconded. Any discussion? All those in favor? Opposed? Abstentions? Motion carries.
Okay, item G, consideration to approve hiring David Bessler for the newly formed position of 7 through 12th grade science teacher at the Western Secure Treatment Unit in Edmonton at a first-year salary of $57,053, with future salary increases to be negotiated with the Allegheny Clearing Valley Education Association. I'll read the first one, and then after that, I'll do three. Okay. This position is approved as 183 days, being Monday through Thursday, for a school year dating from August 1st of each year to the following June 30th, with the first year salary prorated to the number of available school days from the date of this motion through June 30th, 2024. This position is hired contingent upon the continued need and operation of the Western Secure Treatment Unit. This position shall further be contingent on the individual executing a consent and acknowledgement to a future decrease in salary in the event the individual's employment changes to a position with lesser pay. All other terms of the agreement between Allegheny Clarion Valley School District and the Allegheny Clarion Valley Education Association, effective July 1, 2023, shall apply to the position. So moved.
Second.
Moved and seconded. Any discussion?
And that motion was so detailed. I spent a lot of time with Attorney Kuhar and Solicitor Shekel to create that motion because it's new to the bargaining unit. I will be working with Julie Smith to potentially come up with another pay column for staff members up there and to integrate these. So that pretty much encompasses the current CBA that we have, and it also everything contingent upon the West 2 program.
Are we raising the salary based on today's date or the first day that they work?
We'll have to see when they're released by their employer. So we'll be working with Andrea to come up with that date. And the goal is to have everybody on campus November 6th. So I think we can pull from November 6th on.
But it will be a prorated salary because that salary is our base level for the full year. And since they'll be coming in November, it won't be a full school year. So
I
depending
get that.
on,
I'm just saying, in this motion, it says it will be prorated as of the date of this motion, based on the number of days. Did I read that wrong?
No, you're right. So they would officially be hired starting tomorrow. Now, are they going to have training, I'm assuming, coming up very quickly with Westview so that?
That would be part of their workday. So maybe we want
Right.
to add that. That's a good point, Carrie. Maybe we want to have that from the first date of work.
I just assumed you put that in there because they're going to start training right away. So,
But if they're already working another job and have to give notice, I
right.
don't know when that.
At least 2 weeks, yeah.
Is all their training is it in person? Do they have to do anything on their own time outside of their?
No,
Okay.
it should be all in person. But
And my question is, what's that prorating to that grant that was given to workplace? That gives you money ahead
Well, what day
Well, we
did you
don't
pull
have-
from? Did you prorate that money?
In the
Yeah.
grant.
It was already
Yeah.
covered.
Mhm.
and adjusted.
Good job.
I mean, it could change, like if there's any hiccups and it takes
All it takes
longer
is
to
a
write.
delay, right? And I get that, I just wanna make sure we don't have to do that. That's-
So do we want to amend this motion to say,
Yes.
okay, so we want to amend the motion, Jameen, if you want to amend it to say, where are we looking at, which line?
First day of work.
Yeah,
It starts with line 5, kind of at the end there.
prorated to, from this date of this motion, we're going to say from the date of,
From the first date.
from the first date of employment.
Okay, so
Well, I technically can't say that either because they are actually going to be employed as of time. So from the first date of service,
First date on campus?
first day worked,
okay, so it's gonna
first
say
work day, first work day,
from the first work day
right,
through June 30th, 2024.
yes.
Okay, so I amend item G to say the position is 183 days, with the first year's salary prorated to the number of available school days from the date of from the first work day through June 30th, 2024. Correct.
Second.
Okay. Any other discussion? All those in favor? Aye. Opposed? Abstentions? Motion carries. And we'll make note then that on the motions H, I, J, and K, that same change is made.
Okay, so item H, do you need me to read the whole thing then, or?
I don't think so,
Okay.
no.
Item H, consideration to approve hiring Sandra Marwick for the newly formed position of 7th through 12th grade English teacher at the Western Support Treatment Unit in Ellington at a first-year salary of $57,053, with future salary increases to be negotiated with the Allegheny Clearing Valley Education Association. And the rest is as listed, so moved.
Second.
Moved and seconded, any discussion? All those in favor? Aye. Opposed? Abstentions? Motion carries.
So item I, this will be Melissa Hewlings,
Yes.
correct? Okay.
Yes.
Consideration to approve hiring Melissa Hewlings for the newly formed position of 7th through 12th grade math teacher at the Western Secure Treatment Unit in Ellington at a first-year salary of $57,053, and the rest as listed. So moved.
Second.
Moved and seconded, any discussion? All those in favor? Aye. Opposed? Abstentions? Motion carries.
Item J, consideration to approve hiring Joseph Beck for the newly formed position of 7th through 12th grade social studies teacher at the Western Secure Treatment Unit in Ellington at a first-year salary of $57,053, and the rest as listed. So moved.
Second.
Moved and seconded, any discussion?
Joe is duly certified. He has a social studies degree and a master's degree in school counseling.
All those in favor? Aye. Opposed? Abstentions? Motion carries.
So if I butcher this gentleman's name, my apologies. Item K, consideration to approve hiring Zachary Latore for the newly formed position of physical education and health education teacher at the Western Secure Treatment Unit in Ellington, PA at a first-year salary of $57,053, and the rest as listed. So moved.
Second.
Moved and seconded, any discussion? All those in favor? Aye. Opposed?
Aye.
Opposed? Abstentions? Motion carries.
Okay, so L is different. So
A little
should
bit
I-
different, but we'll still have to make an adjustment for that
Yeah.
first day of work.
For the number of available days from the first work day. You want me to read it all? You said?
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay. Item L, consideration to approve hiring Lovato Myford for the newly formed position of principal of the Western Secure Unit Treatment Center in Ellington, PA at a first-year salary of $98,000. This position is approved as 240 days for a school year dating from July 1st of each year to the following June 30th, with the first-year salary prorated to the number of available days from the first workday through June 30th, 2024. This position is hired contingent upon the continued need and operation of the Western Sewer Treatment Unit. This position shall be subject to all other terms and benefits provided under the Act 93 agreement effective July 1, 2023, and expiring on June 30th, 2027. So moved.
Second.
And I would assume the principal may be coming in sooner than the teachers, because I don't believe she's anywhere that she's going to be held for 2 weeks. So I think Dr. McDivitt's hoping she can get on here quickly and start helping get things formalized up there. So, any other discussion?
I did have a question. Of the applicants that we approved, was anybody that came from out of the area for the housing stipend, or are they all mostly local?
They're local, but they'll still get that same stipend.
Right. I knew they get the stipend. I didn't know if that enticed anybody from outside of like a 2-hour radius or something like that.
We did have several, but the state is making us change that too. They didn't agree to call
It's
it.
just got a pay increase.
Okay.
But we did have a lot of people outside of the state and even the country apply through Indeed with resumes.
We had some from Panama, we had some from, I mean, know where some of them were from.
Or
Okay.
So, any other discussion? All those in favor? Aye. Opposed? Abstentions? Motion carries. Thank you. All right, Jeff, do you mind doing instructional service for us?
No, sounds great. Elementary report.
I want to start tonight by letting you know we welcomed our new cafeteria monitor, Judy Morrison, on October 9th officially. And I can't thank you enough for giving us that position, for she is wonderful. Friendly, great with the kids, super hard worker. Like, she came in day one and did not have a down minute. And if she didn't have something assigned from us, she went out and talked to teachers and asked if there's anything that she could do for them. So it's working out great. And it did allow us to free up 7 staff members from lunch duty each day, including Karen Hedrick. So now she will either be able to add lessons here or at high school. And we would only have to revert to our other schedule if Judy would need a day off. So occasionally we may have to pull those ones back in for some lunch duty. But in addition, it freed up a paraprofessional from having to deliver walker notes after lunch. And it has given the teachers assistance with copying, laminating. So everybody is very pleased with the new position. And we're able to cover a few more things that we needed to. Secondly, I just wanted to document that we did have a transportation safety meeting on October 4th. We actually had 2 meetings, one with the bus contractors and one with the van contractors, because they're a little bit different. David and I reviewed a PowerPoint with them on what to do in different crisis scenarios. We ensured that each vehicle that we run has one of the pink flip charts in it for the drivers to review periodically to remind themselves what to do in different situations. And then we followed that up with just a general transportation meeting, Courtney Chalmers and I, regarding paperwork and that kind of thing. So it was a good day with all of the contractors and drivers. We also had our first MTSS committee meeting with Dina Croyle, who is our IU6 liaison for our MTSS commitment that we signed. That was on October 10th. It was about a 3-hour meeting, and we completed what's called the RTFI survey. And it basically asked us to look at all the MTSS requirements and tell where we were as a building. Are we fully implementing it? Are we partially implementing it? Or have we not started implementing it? So it's kind of our baseline, like where are we now and where do we need to get to? And she reiterated that the need to get to part is not by the end of the year. It's maybe 3 years down the road, maybe 4 years down the road before you're fully implemented in every area. So that was good to keep us in check, that we don't have to dive in and do everything at once. So she did, help us look at what we want to start with, what we want to prioritize. We want to look at kindergarten standards-based report card and possibly model that going through up through 3rd grade with our primary students, and then align assessments locally. So like what teachers are using in the classroom and what we're using locally for progress monitoring. to those standards. And we have a next meeting scheduled for October 31st, so we'll jump into working on those first two prioritized goals. And the last thing I wanted to look at today, and then Bill's also going to look at this for the high school, is this that I left at your sheets. There's one for the elementary, one for the high school. Obviously, mine starts with the grade 3 on the front. This is our, basically it comes from our PVOS, our value added assessment system in Pennsylvania. That's where the data is sourced from. And it measures the growth of students across the state and compares us to students across the state. So you can see the top line on each performance level is the state average, and then our average as a building. And if we look just at the blue and green, because that's where we want to be, you can see we have a lot of good information pretty much across the board. There was a couple places where, we see that we've got to do some work, but in third grade, our numbers are outstanding. The only thing that hurts us in a little bit is they set the bar so high that, to show growth, we really have to push those kids to the following years, fifth grade. But you can see on ELA for third grade, across the state, the average was 54% if you add the blue and green together, and ours was 71.8. Math, the state was 51.7, and our elementary was 66.7. In fourth grade, we were a little bit closer to the state. They were at 51.8 and we were at 56.7. So we're still pretty close. And for math, the state was at 46.5 and we were at 50%. Science is where we are stellar. The state average was 74.1 proficient advanced, and our fourth graders were at 86.4 proficient or advanced. So super proud of them. That test does change in 2025-26. The test will change for science, and it will no longer be fourth grade, it will be administered in fifth grade. So we'll see what those changes bring. Our fifth graders were just slightly above the state average at 53.6. They came in at 54% in ELA for grade 5. And then math is where we go in fifth and sixth grade. We are starting to focus in on that to make some improvements. We were also very close in sixth grade ELA. The state was at 55.6 and we were at 53.2, so a little below where the state average was. But the other thing to keep in mind as you look at the comparisons and scores, the state is looking at over 11,000 kids and we have much smaller numbers to look at. So every one of our kids is almost 2% or more, depending on how many are in that grade. So like one kid bumping up into a level increases our percentages by more than 1%. So, and that's the elementary part of that, and I'll turn it over to, or I'll let Jeff turn it over to Bill.
Secondary report, Dr. Drew.
Thank you. I'll pick up where Lori left off and just kind of give you an idea of what we've been doing in the high school as far as looking at data and trying to make instructional decisions in core content areas based upon what we see. And we've been working closely with the representative from Patton as well. She has come up and worked with me a couple of days, just kind of getting the structure put together for what we want to do in the future. Looking at where we've had success, where we've struggled, things like that, and what our goals are. A couple years back, if you remember, we were on what I would call the Pennsylvania Department of Ed naughty list. And, really that it kind of bruised our ego a little bit because there are a lot of school districts and high schools in particular across Pennsylvania. And here we are, in one of the categories being down the bottom 15%. So we've worked really hard to try to turn that around. And even though state testing isn't everything, state testing at the high school level affects a lot of different things that we do. In fact, I'll talk about that with this other handout that I have for you as well. So if you look at those going down through there, we have the 3 graduation requirements in biology, algebra 1, and in ELA. And we are now, if you look at those, meeting the state average plus or minus a few percentage points, but generally speaking, we're making the state average in all those categories, and including the PSSA in 7th and 8th grade as well. And we're pretty proud of that because, like I say, a couple years ago, it was significantly lower than that. If you look especially on the third page, the Keystone Literature Spring 2023, one of the things we looked at was, oh my goodness, we have 65% that are getting proficient on that test, and this is first-time test takers. This isn't counting retesters. The 65% is far and above what the state average is. I will admit, yes, we don't have advanced, but that's one of our goal target areas, is to change what we do, look at the structure of what we do in high school, and try to really drill in on getting students moved into that advanced category. So that's one of the goals that I've worked with Lisa Bolda on just the other day. If you go on through there, you can see the science on the performance for the PSSAs. And again, it's looking at it, 69.1% are proficient or advanced. And in both those categories are higher than the state averages. Actually, the advanced at the state level is 26.2%, and we were at 36.4%. That's 100% of the teachers working that, because they pay attention to those details. They really drill down in the state standards, and they make sure that they're covering those things very, very closely. Granted, the test is an older test, the science test at the 8th grade level. They are planning on changing that, but my science teachers are pretty confident that we can make the change as well and continue to have that kind of performance. Looking at the second handout, and the reason that I gave you these two, this is a new report that I had to submit this year. And really what it does, it takes a look at last year's seniors, and the question that it asked of me was, how many students graduate based on pathway number 1? And graduating on pathway number 1 means having proficiency in all 3 tests: the Keystone Literature, the Biology, and the Algebra. So if you look across there, Keystone Proficiency Pathway, 35% of our kids graduated in that pathway. Pathway number 2 is, or would be, students that are proficient in 2 of the tests and not below basic in the 3rd test, and then having an average score that equals 4,500. 27% of our kids graduated in that pathway. You can see we had 4 students with the Career Center Concentrator pathway. We had 6 kids that were proficient on the alternative assessment. That would be the ASVAB. We actually just did the ASVAB testing last Friday, so we will find out for this year's seniors the full number of kids that graduate through that pathway as well. Then the bottom 2, special education program, kids that graduate based on their IEPs, and then the administrator waiver pathway. That would be any student that, say they moved into their senior year from another state, never took any of those tests, or took different tests, and we can provide a waiver for students like that, or for students that come from another country. So even though, again, testing is not the be-all, end-all, it really does impact that particular submission right there that I have to put in for the state. Proficiency on those tests is the easiest pathway for most kids. And we continue to work with students and retest them if they're within an attainable area. And those that aren't, Mrs. Logan, myself, we sit down and we create a plan with those kids, present their options, and work toward getting that option fulfilled so that every kid will graduate based on one of those pathways, because that is Pennsylvania's new state law that's in effect. So that, if anybody has any questions, I can answer those, but that's my report. Thank you.
Federal programs report.
We don't have anything new to report besides, the van that was given out earlier.
District report.
Thanks, Jeff. We're going to start out by looking at the district enrollment numbers, and this is part of your packet. And just a couple areas where I've been working very closely with Dr. Maines. At one time, we'd averaged around 30 kids that were in outside intermediate unit classrooms. And as you can tell, we have 7 kids in an outside classroom, and a bulk of those students are actually placed in the emotional support classroom in our high school. So we've been able to focus in on the needs of the kids, reduce outside transportation costs, and cut down on the number of students with our life skill program and other internal projects that we're working on. We also have 26 kids that are in outside cyber. We've been running about 39 or so kids the last half a dozen years or so. And that was a big push from Julie Raybuck this past summer. She's called families several times. We've talked about it. We've worked with Michelle Austin. There have been some kids that have graduated as well. So we have a total of 674 kids in the district. We do have a number of kids in outside cyber as well as homeschool, but we've been working to reduce those numbers and bring more kids back to the district. Moving on, there is a lot of legislation going on and discussions in Harrisburg. 2 bills that I'd like to bring to your attention that are exciting is House Bill 27. That's the old Act 91, the old Act 89, which enables substitute teachers to come in with a variety of backgrounds. So we can issue temporary certificates for substitute teachers and classroom monitors. That's being discussed. That is House Bill 27. It has yet to been approved, but they are looking at a 3-year amendment to that bill. There's also House Bill 1507 that's introduced by Representative Topper, who's also part of the Basic Education Funding Commission. As we all know, that there has to be 180 days and 990 hours according to the school code. He's asking to have that changed through House Bill 1507 to 180 days or 990 hours. And that's at the high school, 900 down here at the elementary. So there's a little bit of excitement associated with that for being able to be creative and providing the education to our young people. As I said earlier, Basic Education Funding Commission, that's taken up most of the time from all of our legislators. They are having legislative hearings, and there's a 12-person panel that's made up, and they're going across the state, mostly in the eastern portion of the state and urban areas. There's nobody on the panel from northwestern Pennsylvania, nor are there any hearings in northwestern Pennsylvania, which is more than disappointing for Clarendon County. This Basic Education Funding Commission is part of the lawsuit through the BARS organization, and they're trying to figure out a way to equally fund all students in Pennsylvania. The one area that we've been pushing, and we've attended a number of PSBA advocacy meetings, Kelly was on with me as well as other local representatives, is the hold harmless provision. And basically what that does is it enables us to pay our bills because we have a base steady rate, and we never get less money than we did the year before. Any kind of new money that comes in goes through the Basic Education Funding Formula, and there's a number of different provisions associated with that. And we normally don't benefit from that, but a lot of the schools out east and urban schools do benefit with the formula. So they're trying to take a look at the formula. They're reconsidering hold harmless and a variety of other different factors. So they're listening to stakeholders. And a number of superintendents and myself drove down to Pittsburgh on October 11th in the hopes that we could address the panel. But unfortunately, we didn't have the time or the opportunity to speak. But the one area that I was going to talk about was House Bill 1422, which is cyber reform. And we're also going to discuss inadequate funding for our local career center. And that was a major topic that was being presented in Pittsburgh. And it is a shame that we spend anywhere from $20,000 to $40,000 for outside cyber, but here at AC Valley, we spend about $8,500 for a career center student to go up there. To learn a trade is going to go out and be a productive member of society and be our neighbors, but yet You know, we're spending so much money in this outside cyber. So those are the issues that we've been pushing. And I've also shared with a number of the legislators that the cyber costs went up 153% more than what we're able to increase our taxes here at AC Valley. And that's part of the reason why we have some funding issues here within the district. But we'll continue to advocate, and we are getting our voices heard. And all I can say is that we do want to support hold harmless. That's a provision that keeps a lot of small rural schools allowed. And then just one other item I'd like to address before I turn it back over to you, Jeff, is I did get a letter from our 4-H Electrotech partners, Penn State Extension. They are looking for volunteers. They're looking for fundraising support, and they're trying to continue to build their robotic competition. The kids are able to be provided with a foundation of technical and mechanical skills. The students have been able to obtain employment. They've become productive members in our communities. Any kind of support will provide financial provisions to the kids, safety equipment, and storage boxes and tools. So we did put this information up on the website. So if anybody wants to donate, please access the website. And Jeff, that concludes my report.
I don't see a student representative here this evening.
She's inundated with classwork.
Classwork, too much classwork.
We'll have to talk to the principal about that.
School police report, I see one listed here, so,
Just at your table.
and I guess that's it for instructional services.
Okay, so Brady, would you lead us through policy, please?
Sure. Item A, consideration to approve the second reading of policy 622 GABS statement 34 as attached. So moved.
Second.
Any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Abstention? Motion carries.
Consideration to approve the second reading of policy 304.1 anti-nepotism as attached. So moved.
Moved and seconded. Any discussion? All those in favor? Aye. Opposed? Abstentions? Motion carries. All right, we'll move on to facilities. And do we have a maintenance report
Yeah, thank you.
from our soon-to-be retired? Congratulations.
Yeah, thank you for the birthday card also.
You're welcome.
Update on the high school roof. We met with a third party, came in and looked at our high school roof, kind of give us some ideas on problems that we're having. Tomorrow, the floor company's coming to look at the roof, so we'll see what they have to offer. GAF is the manufacturer of the material we put on the roof. They denied our warranty claim. Material's coming off the roof in several locations. They're denying the claim, but it's obviously coming off, and it's been coming off since first year. So that's, we're trying to get the floor company involved. They've been involved the whole time. So we're looking for some resolution to help them out. Hopefully we'll get something. Slippery Rock Roofing, they looked at it and said this is not their problem. They did what they had to do. So we'll go from there. We had elementary boiler with a heating system on, unfortunately now. So one boiler down here we have shut down right now. The relief valves failed on it. The new one's water came in today. We're still waiting some other pipe fittings to be in tomorrow. So hopefully have it going by midweek. Started to put the material and the stuff on the equipment on the tractor. Started picking up leaves. Fall is here. We'll start moving bleachers soon. I think the Powder Cup football is November 1st, I believe. So we'll leave at least 1 or 2 bleachers out for that. Whenever we get a chance, we'll get the bleachers off there. They've been also working on installing and running cabling and installing Wi-Fi antennas and outside speakers for the technology department. And then the safety upgrades we've done for the alert system for the notification. And I think that's about all. Tonight's my last meeting in 31 years. James will be taking over. This is his first board meeting. It'll all go fast. I started here, and I think a lot of things changed me in my 3 years. My first daughter was born. I built a new house. I started here at AC Valley. My second daughter was born. And just like that, they are getting older. I'm getting my second grandchild on the day I'm retiring, hopefully. So things are doing well for me. I've been blessed. Matt Gribble is the new James. So Matt started what, 2 weeks ago, last month. So Matt's doing an awesome job. You want to give a little bio of yourself?
Yeah, I mean, went to school here, graduated 2005, Utah Space and Career Center. It was the best decision I ever made ever years ago. A welder by trade, left there young, chased money, went to the chemical refineries in Petrolia, and I've been in the industrial trade field for 13 years, and I needed a change of pace on my body, so here I am.
Well, we're glad to have you, and we're gonna miss you, but I know you enjoy your retirement. And we know you're leaving us in good hands.
I am. James has been here almost 4 years. It's just that fast and how things have changed.
A lot of teachers have changed since, a lot of teachers have changed, I don't even know where to go anymore, so it's a learning curve right now.
And Matt talked about the Career Center. I was also a Career Center, and Danny was a Career Center. That was a great opportunity for us. They had a class then, it was building trades and maintenance, believe it or not. And, wonderful class. We should send a lot of kids up there, more kids than what we do. We stay there, all of our kids are interested. It's a great opportunity. It sure got me out of some bad things that I was doing in my life at that age, you know. It set me on a good path. Thank you.
Thanks.
Great, thank you.
Thank you. All right, Diane, would you do transportation?
Sure.
And you can lump those as you see
Yeah, I
fit.
think I can lump A, B, and D together. Consideration to retroactively approve extracurricular activities transportation contract between AC Valley School District and Michelle Eiler, Pamela Myers, and Irwin Transportation. So moved.
Second.
Moved and seconded. Any discussion?
I just want to point out that the date is different for Irwin than it is for the first two. I don't know if that makes a difference in reading it, but that was because the athletic director used a contractor and didn't tell me.
Oh, okay. I think we're okay if we just note as noted on the agenda. We should be good. Any other discussion? All those in favor? Aye. Opposed? Abstentions? Motion carries.
C, consideration to retroactively approve the van contract between the Allegheny Clarendon Valley School District and Pam Myers Transportation Incorporated for 2014 Honda Odyssey dated September 14, 2023, as attached. So moved.
Second.
Moved and seconded. Any discussion? All those in favor? Aye. Opposed? Abstentions? Motion carries.
E, consideration to retroactively approve the revised 2023-2024 bus contract with Marcia Holland for bus number 4 dated September 29, 2023, as attached. So moved.
Second.
Moved and seconded. Any discussion? All those in favor? Aye. Opposed? Abstentions? Motion carries.
F, consideration to retroactively approve the revised 2023-2024 bus contract with Bailey Busing Company for bus number 7 dated September 29, 2023, as attached. So moved.
Moved and seconded. Any discussion? All those in favor?
Those are just because Master wrote.
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Abstentions? Motion carries. All right, Patty, we're gonna let you roll us out with miscellaneous here.
Career salary report. Pretty much just normal things as listed in the minutes, nothing exciting. Intermediate unit report.
We spent a great deal of time talking about the vacancies that we currently have right now at the IU and the difficulty that we're having just getting viable applicants for those positions. We've talked about offering an incentive to current IU employees to refer other individuals for positions that they're hired for. We'll continue to talk about that, but the majority of our meeting centered around personnel and the vacancies that we have.
We meet again next Wednesday. I don't believe there's a meeting in November, and then we'll have our reorganizational meeting in December after the school districts have their meetings and elect new officers. Or new committee members, I guess I should say.
Correspondence? Yeah, it's just listed
Okay,
there.
just
We
a
don't
letter
have
from
to.
Julie Patton, David Warren, the PES or Warren, and we received confirmation is attached. Letter from Holly McKinley Bieber, Vice President of Autism Foundation, dated August 19th, as attached. A letter from Dwayne Ansler, WCD, and Technology Committee update.
We have not met since our last meeting where we reported.
Athletic Committee.
We did have a meeting, some personnel items, some contract issues, things like that.
Football, field renovation committee update.
We haven't had a meeting lately, but I did not get approved with the Phillips grant that I submitted for the football field renovation.
They've thrown any feedback from that yet?
They just said that they were inundated with a number of high-quality grant applications. You know, don't take it the wrong way. We only have so much money to send out.
Finance committee update.
We haven't had.
Okay, thank you. Do we have any old business? Any new business? Okay, we're going to adjourn to an executive session. We're going to end the meeting, but we're having an executive session for personnel reasons. Do I have a motion to adjourn?
I'll make the motion.
Second.
Moved and seconded. All those in favor? Aye. Okay, thank you. Meeting is adjourned.
Thank you.
Are we going to stay